recording. I will get this up and running shortly after we're done, and you'll be able to see it. You know what? I'm going to just back this up just a little bit because I just started the recording a little late. And so I want people to see, I want very quickly to people to see that these are the trades for the week. This is how we're doing in both accounts. This is how we're doing in the big account. This is how we're doing in the $30,000 account. These are the comments. If you want to put a comment below, we'd sure appreciate it. These are the strategies that we use and the ways that we back test. And now I'm showing you all of the different trades in the 30,000 buying power account. Okay. Now we're up to 1523. Now let's go to 1551, and you can see exactly where we are here and how we're doing that. There we go. And so this is the gambler special. And you notice, look how low the buying power is. It's only $2,000 worth of buying power. And we're going to be putting this on with 9 minutes to go. We do a show every day at 3:30. You're going to see us win or lose about $6 to $8 grand in the last 9 minutes every single day. If you're interested in watching us trade live, that's the best place to do it. I will take questions over the chat. We'll be happy to talk to you about any type of trading that we do and go over any questions you might have. We also have a Discord where we can answer any questions. We're not in there 24 hours a day, but we're in there quite often. And there's a great community of people. It's all free. And you can go in there and see what's going on in the Discord and talk about different types of trades that we're putting on. All right, let's go to the $1 million account. All right, these are the big ones. It's going to be now a little bit higher level of complication. The first one's going to go at 947. Obviously, it's for $1.45. Again, it's a multiple entry iron condor, so that means a put credit spread and a call credit spread. The short leg is $1.45. It's going to be 95% stop loss on this particular one, 150 wide wings as it is on all of the big ones. Notice 954, we're going in twice. Both multiple entry iron condors, a $3 and a $2.25, 95% stop loss, 150 wide wings. Notice that on none of these is there a profit target. These are all ride or die. We do not do profit targets on these. The back testing shows that does not pay. We are a CPA. He actually started trading with us, and he keeps putting on the profit targets, closing out when they get to, say, 10 cents or a nickel. A lot of people do this. You know, it really pisses me off that I see all these people on the internet telling traders, oh, you ought to get out, or you don't do ones at the end of the day. It doesn't pay. They have no idea what they're talking about. We just go by the math. We can tell you exactly what happened. We look at 7 million trades. When someone tells you, oh, I've been trading this for 2 years or 5 years, once a week, you know, what is that, 100 trades, 500 trades, 1,000 trades? That's chump change. You know, how do you tell in 1,000 trades how a strategy is going to be? You can't. We do millions of back tests. That's how we know, okay? So the math speaks for it. It's not my experience, by the way. I don't have 7 million trades worth of experience. I just follow the math, and you've seen the results. I showed you the results. All right, let's keep going before I get too upset. All right, now we put on a bunch at 954. We put on a bunch at 1022. Now we've got some EMAs coming, exponential moving average. Again, 40 versus the 20. Next week or the week after, we may expand that a little bit. For now, 40 versus the 20. Notice the stop loss is changing. Notice the wing width is always the same. All right, now we're getting a little more complicated. Look here what's happening. We're adding more of these. Some are multiple entry condors. Some are exponential moving averages. We're going to have 3 coming on at noon. If you don't have access to bots, you are not going to be able to do this manually. The EMAs are very difficult to do manually. The MECs are even twice as bad because you've got to put on 2 at the same time. And, you know, when we say, look at that bottom one, that one at noon, right, $1.45 MEC. You got to put on a put credit spread and a call credit spread. Well, in the real world, it's not $1.45. Maybe they're offering $1.50 here and $1.75, and you're not getting fills, and you got to keep trying to move it around to get a fill. The bot can do it every 7 seconds, every 5 seconds. It can find the best ones, and boom, it fills it. You can never do that, and you won't be able to do it for multiple times, multiple types of trades at the same time. It's just not possible. All right, now we really get complicated. At 1207 in the $1 million account, we're putting on 6 different trades. 6 trades. Can you imagine? And these are all multiple entry iron condors. So that means you're going to have to put on 12 all at the same time. There is no way you can do this manually. It cannot be done. And you have to have bots. But if you do, the math is extremely on your side. And by the way, these test as the highest ones for the entire week. If someone said to me, Rob, gun to your head, what's the one trade you would put on? I'd put on this 350 MEC, 95% stop loss, 150 wide wing. Absolutely, positively. These are the best that I would do. I'm looking at the chat room. Maria's in there. Maria's in there so she can answer some of those questions. I'll get to you in just a second, okay? All right, now we've got the 1207s, right? Now look at we don't do anything until 2:34. You can have a little lunch, take it easy. And by the way, I'll be outside by the pool, or I'll be out surfing or taking a walk on the beach all day tomorrow and all day, every day this week, or preparing to do more videos because I just let the bots run, right? I just let the bots run. All my work is done after I've done this video. The bots are up and running. They're doing it. Now we've added another one. Now at 3:30, getting close to the end of the day. Look at this, a 225% stop loss. Wow. We're going to let it run. Why? Because the math tells us to. That's why. The math tells us to. Now, here we get down to the gambler special, $15.51, $1.80 EMA, 90% stop loss. Let me tell you, we're going to be putting on 6 different amounts, but I'm just giving you the top 20 trades. We're putting on, I think I saw we're putting on right around 150 trades this week in our $1 million account. And now it's up to $1.3 million, right, of buying power. But we're going to be putting on, I'm not sure how many trades, a lot more than 20. I don't want to quote a number, but you're going to see us live at 3:30 every day this week. It will either make $6,000 or lose $6,000 in 9 minutes. If you love watching us lose, that's where you want to go. If you love watching us win, that's where we go. I get real excited. Maria gets real excited. And we just have an awful lot of fun doing that. So, all right, next, let's take a look. So our actual trades will vary. Like I was just saying, we're going to use different buying power than you. We're going to use different tranche sizing. We also size our trades. So when I show you the best ones, we might put on 5 or 10 contracts for each one of those. And then for the ones that get a little less quality or as quote unquote not quite as the best trades, then we're going to say only put on 4 or maybe size them down to 3 or 2s or sometimes even 1s. We're going to, we have dynamic buying power allocation. That's a new thing, a new feature that we've been working on, where if we get punched out of a trade earlier on the day, we'll reuse that buying power later in the day rather than waiting until the next day. We have a far different risk tolerance than you. If you have $100 million in the bank and I have $1 million in the bank and we both are investing $1 million in buying power, you have a much higher risk tolerance, right? You can take the risk because you got $100 million in the bank. You don't care if you lose $1 million. Where if I only got $1 million in the bank, not 100 million, and I'm betting 100 million that day, I have a very low risk tolerance because that's all my money, right? That's how the kids are going to eat and, feed the dog and whatnot. Okay, Super Bowl picks. Everybody wants to know. As you know, I was a professional gambler for 50 years. I always bet pretty much the same thing, and it always pays off. I always bet the money line dog, and I bet the under. So New England, I placed a bet this morning for New England at plus 215. So I'm wagering $4,652 that New England wins the game outright. I will win $10,000 if New England wins the game outright. I will lose $4,652. And tell you the truth, I do not know who they're playing, and I will not watch the game. I've not watched the game in 20 years just because I can't get emotionally involved in these games and still be a good gambler. Then when it comes to the over-under, again, it is just like options, right? People overpay they overpay to buy puts, so we sell puts. In gambling, they overpay for the over. Everybody wants lots of points, so the rookie gamblers will always put money on the over. Rookie gamblers always put money on the favorite, and so that's why I bet the money line dog and the under. I got the under at 46.5 plus 100, which means an even Steven bet. So I'm wagering $5,000 to win $5,000 on the under. That we want the score to be under 46.5 points. 47, I lose. If the total is 47, I lose. If the total is 46 or less, I win. All right, any questions here? Would be nice to show how you set up OO using the timestamps you share weekly on Sundays. We have actually a 4-part series or 5-part series that shows how that's done. I've had some requests for a little deeper dive on it, and I'm happy to do that. Just put something in the comments or reach out to us in the Discord, and we'll be happy to put that in there. Let's see here. What else? PCS and can trigger in options Omega. That's right. So the EMA is a 20-minute versus a 40-minute, and it is done by options Omega. Is it based on EMA status? All of our trades go on at the time I told you, and so whether they're EMA or at multiple entry iron condors, I'm not sure the question that cool person has here, but it is a defined range. I don't know what you mean by defined range. Time is getting the trade 1022 PCS or CPS based on EMA status. So what we do is the EMA program, it looks back at 1022. It'll look back at the prior 40-minute exponential moving average and the 20-minute moving average. And whichever is higher will determine which way that it's going to, whether it's going to put in a put credit spread or a call credit spread. All right, let's see if there are any more. A lot of people want bots. A lot of people, 4 million. That's an interesting story. I'd be happy to go over that with you. It's not a strategy that we would use anymore. But it was, it's like riding a roller coaster. It was pretty crazy. All right, if there's not any more questions, I think that's it. I hope you guys enjoy the Super Bowl. Those of you going to watching, root for me to win, please. I could sure use the money. And you guys have a great trading day. Don't forget to put those comments in there. Love to subscribe and like. If you missed out on any of these trades, just look back, and I'll just scroll back a little bit here if I get a chance. And you can see, oh, look at that. There's a Discord. I should mention this stuff, right? Here's our Discord, and this is not financial advice. Do your own due diligence, entertainment purposes only. And remember, options have better odds than gambling. So don't be a gambler, be an options trader if you get the chance. Thanks a lot, and I hope you have a great trading day. I think that's the one we want. And we're going to end the stream here. My son Tyler showed me how to end this. I've got to be sure that we're all done. And that is going to be the end of the show in 3, 2, 1.